Good. Consider the mornings, middle schoolers. There are moments in life when the ground beneath us crumbles, not because of a stranger's cruelty, but because of the people we once called home. Family is supposed to be our first safe place, our first soft landing. When betrayal comes from them, it doesn't just break our hearts, it can shatter our entire sense of who we are. It's the violation of the primal trust we are supposed to be able to lean on without question. We have to tell the whole truth about this kind of pain, not dress it up, not rush past it with cliches like everything happens for a reason or forgive and forget. There are some betrayals that rip open wounds so deep that no pretty words will ever be enough to stitch them closed. And that's okay. Naming the pain is not weakness. Feeling the heartbreak fully is not being dramatic. It's being human. If we refuse to name the pain honestly, we bury it alive, and pain that is buried doesn't die, it festers. It teaches us to live smaller, to trust less, to harden our hearts in ways that starve us of the very connection we're longing for. Acknowledging the depth of your betrayal is not about staying stuck in it, it's about honoring the reality of your experience. It's about saying what happened to me matters. It's about refusing to gaslight yourself into pretending it wasn't that bad just because it's uncomfortable to sit with the truth. The truth is, it was that bad. It did hurt that much. You are not crazy. You are not overly sensitive. You are not weak. You are someone who dared to trust, and someone else did not honor that trust. That's not your shame to carry. Acknowledging the depth of your pain is how you loosen its grip on your life. You can't heal what you won't face. Facing it fully, messy, real, tear-stained and aching, is the bravest thing you can do, and it's the first step toward becoming free. Many times, maybe most times, they don't, not because you didn't matter, not because the hurt wasn't real, but because facing the truth of what they did would require them to confront parts of themselves they aren't ready, willing, or brave enough to face. And if we tie our healing to their apology, we hand them the keys to our future. We stay shackled not by the original betrayal, but by the hope that they will rescue us from it. But here's the truth. Your healing does not belong to them. It belongs to you. You are allowed to close the chapter without their permission. You are allowed to heal even if they never understand. You are allowed to move forward even if they minimize, deny, blame, or disappear. Waiting for them to apologize is like waiting for a storm to come back and clean up the mess it left behind. It's not going to happen. And the longer we wait, the more we abandon ourselves, clinging to the idea that they have the final say over our wholeness. They don't. Healing is an act of self-rescue. It's saying, I will not let your unwillingness to take responsibility be the thing that keeps me stuck in this pain. I will not build my future on the shaky ground of your recognition. I recognize my hurt. I recognize my worth, and I choose me. It's not fair. It's not just. You deserved better. You deserved repair. But healing is not about fairness, it's about freedom. Choosing to heal without their apology is one of the fiercest acts of self-love you can commit. It's you telling yourself, I will no longer outsource my peace to people who chose to hurt me. It's not giving up. It's not letting them win. It's choosing to win yourself back. And in that choice, painful, courageous, radical, you reclaim the most powerful thing they ever threatened to take from you, your ability to live with an open heart, to trust your own voice, and to create a future that no betrayal can define. You are not waiting for anything anymore. You are rising. Self-compassion is the bridge across the hurt, again, in that powerful, vulnerable, story-driven style you're asking for. Self-compassion is the bridge across the hurt, expanded after betrayal by family. The pain doesn't just come from what was done to us, it also comes from the stories we start telling ourselves about why it happened. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe I should have seen it coming. Maybe if I had been better, stronger, smarter, less emotional, they would have treated me differently. Somewhere in the wreckage of betrayal, shame sneaks in and whispers that we were somehow responsible for the wound we're now struggling to survive. And here's what's even harder. When the people who hurt us minimize it, deny it, or blame us, it becomes even easier to believe the shame is ours to carry, but it's not. Self-compassion is how we break that cycle. It's the bridge that carries us across the deep, dark valley of hurt, not by pretending the pain isn't real, but by refusing to turn that pain inward into self-punishment. Self-compassion says, I am hurting, and my hurt deserves tenderness, not judgment. I am grieving something precious, and I don't need to hurry up and get over it. I did the best I could with what I knew then, and I am still worthy of love, care, and belonging right now, exactly as I am. Without self-compassion, we risk becoming our own betrayers. We risk repeating the harm, this time with our own hands, blaming ourselves for trusting, punishing ourselves for feeling, criticizing ourselves for not being over it fast enough. But healing is not a race. It's not a checklist. It's not about being tough or getting over it. Healing is about allowing yourself to be fully human, messy, vulnerable, aching, without shame. It's about learning to sit with your broken heart and say, even in this, especially in this, I am still good. I am still whole. Self-compassion is not pity. It's not about feeling sorry for yourself or making excuses for others. It's about holding your own heart with the same gentleness you would offer to someone you loved most in the world. It's about choosing kindness toward yourself, especially when your instincts tell you to hide, to numb, or to lash out. Every act of self-compassion, every time you choose patience over harshness, tenderness over blame, lays another stone on that bridge that carries you out of the pain. It doesn't make the hurt disappear overnight, but it makes healing possible. It gives you a safe place inside yourself, a home that no one can ever take away again. And maybe that's what healing after family betrayal really is. Learning that even if the people who were supposed to love you didn't, you are still lovable. You are still enough. You can be your own safe place now. Self-compassion is not just the bridge across the hurt. It's the foundation for every beautiful, brave thing you will build after it. Grieve the dream, not just the reality, in the same emotional, powerful, real style you asked for. Grieve the dream, not just the reality. Expanded, when we are betrayed by family, the grief we feel is so much bigger than the events that happened. It's bigger than the lies told, the trust broken, the words said or left unsaid. We are grieving something deeper. We are grieving the dream of what family is supposed to be, the dream of unconditional love, the dream that no matter how hard life gets, there would always be a place we could come home to and be understood, accepted, cherished. When family wounds us, it's not just the person standing in front of us that we lose, it's the version of them we desperately wanted them to be. It's the future moments we imagined, the holidays where everyone would finally sit around the table without tension, the celebrations where you'd feel safe and proud, the late night phone calls you thought would always be there when you needed them most. We don't just grieve what happened, we grieve what should have happened but never will. And it's critical, essential to let yourself grieve that dream. Too often we shame ourselves for it. It wasn't even that good anyway. I shouldn't still care. I should be over this. But grief doesn't work like that. Grief is love with nowhere to go. Grief is the honoring of what mattered to us, even if it never truly existed the way we hoped it would. It's okay to sit with the sadness of it. It's okay to mourn the father who couldn't love you the way you needed, the mother who couldn't see you clearly, the siblings who chose distance over connection, the grandparents who should have protected you but stayed silent instead. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you're a human being who had beautiful hopes, beautiful longings, and those hopes deserve to be seen and honored, even if they went unfulfilled. Sometimes the most painful part of moving on isn't letting go of the people, it's letting go of the fantasy that one day they would change, the fantasy that one day they would show up differently, the fantasy that you could finally have the relationship you deserved all along. It's okay to feel that loss. It's a real loss. And grieving the dream doesn't mean giving up on love. It means making space for new dreams. Dreams rooted in reality, not in longing. Dreams that include healthy friendships, chosen family, relationships where you are loved not in spite of who you are, but because of it. It's okay to cry for what should have been. It's okay to rage, to ache, to wish it had been different. That's part of healing. But after the grief, slowly, gently, there comes a moment when you realize you are allowed to build a life filled with the love you always deserved, even if it didn't come from where you first expected. Breathe the dream, mourn it fully, let the tears come, because only by grieving it can you finally set yourself free to create something real, something beautiful, something rooted in the truth of who you are and the love you are still so profoundly worthy of. Set boundaries is an act of self-respect, not punishment, in the same emotional, strong, real voice you're building. When someone we love, someone we trusted betrays us, a natural instinct rises up inside. Protect yourself, shut them out, build walls, never let anyone close again. And honestly, that instinct is wise. But how we protect ourselves matters. Setting boundaries after failing betrayal isn't about getting revenge. It isn't about punishing them, making them feel the hurt they caused, or proving how much they lost by losing us. Because when we set boundaries out of anger alone, those boundaries become weapons, and staying angry still ties us to them. Real, lasting boundaries come from somewhere deeper: self-respect, self-love, self-honoring. A boundary isn't a wall to punish someone else. A boundary is a bridge back to yourself. It's a declaration: I deserve to feel safe. I deserve to be treated with kindness and care. I am not available for relationships that leave me questioning my worth. You are not cruel for creating space where there has been harm. You are not unloving for limiting access to your heart. You are not disrespectful for saying no more. You are allowed to say, I will no longer allow behavior that makes me abandon myself. Boundaries are not about hate. They are about clarity. Clarity about what you will and will not allow into your life, your mind, your body, your spirit. Sometimes setting a boundary looks like saying, I still love you, but I can't have you in my life in the same way anymore. Sometimes it looks like Until you are able to treat me with the respect I deserve, I need distance. And sometimes it looks like walking away without explanation, because explaining yourself again and again to people who don't want to understand is just another form of self-abandonment. Letting go, creating distance, choosing yourself, it's not cruel, it's what healing requires. And here's something we don't talk about enough. When you set a boundary with a family member, people might accuse you of being heartless, selfish, dramatic. They might weaponize guilt because they benefited when you had no boundaries. They might tell you that family is everything, but here's the thing. Family that demands your silence, your self-betrayal, or your suffering in the name of loyalty is not love, it's control. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to choose environments where your nervous system doesn't have to be in survival mode. You are allowed to choose a life where you thrive, not just survive. Setting boundaries isn't about rejecting others, it's about accepting yourself. Accepting that you deserve relationships built on trust, mutual care, and respect. It's an act of fierce, unapologetic self-respect. And no one, not even family, has the right to demand access to you just because of biology. Your peace is sacred. Your heart is sacred. Your healing is sacred. And setting boundaries is how you protect all of it. Embrace the courage to rebuild trust, starting with yourself, written in the same real, raw, powerful voice you've asked for. Embrace the courage to rebuild trust, starting with yourself. When we've been betrayed by family, by the people who were supposed to protect and love us, the wound cuts deeper than almost any other. It doesn't just break our trust in them, it shatters something even closer to home. Our trust in ourselves. We wonder, how could I not have seen it? How could I have trusted them when they were capable of this? How do I ever trust anyone, even myself? Again, the hardest part after betrayal isn't just rebuilding trust with others, it's rebuilding it inside our own skin. And here's the raw truth. You cannot fully rebuild your life if you don't first rebuild trust in your own voice, your own instincts, your own heart. Betrayal teaches us to doubt our own reality. It teaches us to second guess the small, quiet wisdom that lives inside us. And so healing, real healing, isn't just about learning to trust other people again, it's about learning to trust yourself again first. That journey starts small. It starts with whispering to yourself, I believe you. When your gut says something feels off, you listen. When your heart says this hurts, you honor it. When your body says, I'm not safe here, you move. Rebuilding trust with yourself means no longer gaslighting your own emotions to make other people more comfortable. It means recognizing that your needs, your fears, your hopes, they are valid. It means that you stop waiting for someone else to grant you permission to live in your own truth. It means saying, I will not betray myself to stay connected to people who cannot love me well. It's slow work. It's tender work. Some days it feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You might doubt yourself again. You might freeze up when new relationships form. You might overanalyze every feeling, every reaction, because you're terrified of being blindsided again. That's normal. But each time you choose to trust yourself a little more, each time you choose to believe your own story instead of minimizing it, explaining it away, or silencing it, you reclaim another piece of yourself. You don't have to rebuild trust perfectly. You don't have to never make another mistake. You just have to keep choosing to return to yourself over and over again. Because trusting yourself isn't about getting right all the time. It's about believing you can handle the truth when it comes. It's about knowing you will protect your heart with tenderness, not judgment. And when you rebuild trust with yourself, something beautiful happens. You begin to trust the world again, but from a different place, not from naivete, not from desperation, but from strength, from clarity, from love. You begin to choose people who feel safe, not because you're hoping they will be, but because you know how to recognize the signs of real, healthy connection. You begin to know deep in your bones, no matter what happens, I will not abandon myself again. And that, more than anything, is the foundation for the life after betrayal, not a life without scars, but a life marked by wisdom, wholeness, and wild radical hope. So here we are, standing at the edge of everything that hurt us and everything that still waits for us. Moving on after betrayal by family is not about pretending the wound never happened. It's not about hardening your heart so no one can ever reach it again. It's not about dragging the weight of bitterness.